everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we have Leia with us. We're gonna make a crochet hat for her, and I don't know if she's gonna like it. Probably she's gonna hate it, but we're gonna make it anyway because it's fun. She'll probably just have it on her head for like a second. We're gonna try to catch that. Right, Leia? Yes. So let's get started. Before we start, we need to measure Leia's head for the hat. We give her a little love and then start measuring. The first measurement we take is the front of the hat, which is 8 centimeters. Next measurement is the width of the middle of the hat, and that's 7 centimeters. Next, we measure the back width of the hat, and that's going to be 9 centimeters. Now I'm measuring the length around her ear to determine the distance between the back corner of the hat and the front corner of the hat, which is the connection on the side right under the ears. And for Leia, that's 14 centimeters. Finally, we're measuring how long the hat is going to be without ruffles. Make sure to leave some space for ruffles. This measurement is 9 centimeters for Leia. For this project, we're gonna need some scissors, stitch markers, 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, but you can change the size, it's up to you. We're gonna need medium weight yarn. Before you start your project, you need to make a swatch to figure out how many stitches you need for your measurements. And that you can create by using the same yarn and the hook and the crochet pattern that you're going to use for your project, which is single crochet for me. So I made a rectangle with single crochets. And when I measured it, I put 10 centimeter on my ruler, and then I put it on my project, and it equaled to 16 stitches. With that information, I can put this to the equation and find any kind of measurement that I want. For my project, I need the stitch count for 7, 8, 9, and 14 centimeters because for my project, the front of the hat, the width of the hat is going to be 8 centimeters, the middle of the hat is going to be 7 centimeters, and the back of the hat width is going to be 9 centimeters. And from the back to front, the sides, which are going to be around the ears, is going to be 14 centimeters. So I need to know what these lengths equal to in stitches. I said if 16 stitches is for 10 centimeters, for 8 centimeters, how many stitches do I need? And then when I did that quick math, it gave me a number. Sometimes it is like 11.2 or whatever. I just round it down or up just to the closest number. And for this, I wanted to go with 11 stitches. It doesn't make a huge difference. Anyway, it's just like one stitch. Then we're going to start by chain 14. But this only applies to you if the hat size you're making is the same as mine. So we're gonna start with the front of the hat, and for my measurements, the front is 8 centimeters, and that's why the 8 centimeters equal to 13 stitches, and I need to start with 14 chains because that one extra chain is going to be a turning chain. I'm gonna show you how to make a slip knot. With the tail of the yarn, I'm going to wrap this around my finger. And then I'm going to wrap this around my finger again, but behind the first loop that I made, right? So there's a crisscross here. After that, I'm gonna take my hook, and then this hook is going to go under the first loop here, and then is going to pull the second loop. So this is how it looks. I'm going under the first loop, and then I'm going to take the second loop and pull it. Ta-da! And then just pull out my finger and then gonna tighten this. Here we have a slip knot. From here, we're gonna make our chains. We're gonna chain 14, as I said. This is how it starts. So to make chains, you're going to, with this hand, okay, let's start with this. You're holding, the tail is hanging here. We're not doing anything with that yet. And then with your finger, you're going to go under the yarn and then wrap it around your finger once, like this. You're gonna have 2 loops on your finger. And then with your middle finger and your thumb, you're going to hold the tail. So we're gonna keep the tension with this finger and these fingers, right? Make sure that your tension is good, it's not loose or so tight because it affects the stitches. To make a chain, take your hook, wrap your yarn around the hook once. This is just for the chain, and then pull it out. We did one. And then going for the second one, again, put your hook, wrap your yarn around it, and pull it through the loop. Second chain. Okay, we're gonna make 14, so I'll continue. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The reason we made 14 is the 14th one is for turning. So when we start working on the other, like on the first row, we're gonna have 13 stitches. We're gonna start working on our row. And we're not gonna work in this. You see, this looks like your first stitch, but it's not. This is the turning stitch. See, your loop is coming out of there, so you're not working in that one. You're working in the next one over here. You're never working in this one that's like, you see, it's moving. Don't work in that stitch. Don't work in that chain. You're working in the next chain. So we're going into the next chain. We're gonna do a single crochet. And this is how you do it. You put your hook through that chain I just showed you. And then you wrap your yarn again. And then you pull it through the loop. Now on your hook, you have 2 loops. And then we're gonna wrap the yarn again and then pull it through from both of the loops on your hook. Let's do it again. We're gonna put the hook through the next stitch, wrap it around, wrap the yarn around, pull it through. Now you have 2 loops, and then wrap it around again, and then pull it through. Perfect. Now we'll continue. This is 2 stitches right now. You see this V shape over here? That is your stitch. We have 2 V's over there. I know it might be a bit difficult because of lots of colors here, but if you see the V here, 2 V's here, right? And then we're gonna have 13 of those. So this is just 2. Now we go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and the last stitch, 13. All good. We did 1 row. Now, as we did in the beginning, we're gonna do a turning chain again. And that's just gonna be 1, just 1. And then you're gonna turn your work to work on the second row, which is just like this. And we turned our work. Now we're gonna be working into those V's that I showed you before. You see all the V's here? Let me show you. All the V's here, 13 of them. We're gonna work in those. We're gonna work in both of them. You see, like we're gonna put the hook through both of those. So I'm gonna show you now. For the first stitch, we're going to, again, all single crochet. As we did before, just put your hook, oh, sorry, my finger was in the way. Put your hook through the stitch, which is the V, like put your hook through under the V. Wrap your yarn around and pull it through. Now you have 2 loops. Wrap your yarn again and pull it through. Now you did it. We're gonna do it 12 more times in the other stitches. Again, put it through the V here, the V shape, and then put your yarn around the hook, pull it through, and then now you have 2 loops here, and then wrap it again and pull it through. Awesome. Let's continue with the rest. Sometimes when you come to the end, it might be hard to see the last stitch. For that, always count your stitches while you're making your stitches. But also, again, you can see it here. When you look at it from this side, it's kind of hard to see that stitch. But when you look at it from above, you can see the V here. So now you know where to work. Again, this is the last one of the row. And then we're gonna do our turning chain. Perfect, and turn our work. Now, this is row 3. From here, we're going to start decreasing. Now, learning decreasing and increasing is fun because it's pretty useful. At the beginning and at the end of the row, we're going to decrease. And for the rest, we're going to go just regularly. So for my first stitch, I want to decrease, right? I want to make these first 2 stitches into 1 stitch. That's basically what decreasing is. We're shortening this. And to do that, for the first 2 stitches over here, I'm gonna turn them into 1 stitch. You're gonna put your hook through the first stitch. Wrap your yarn around, pull it through. Now you have 2 loops, as we did single crochet before. But before you finish that single crochet, since we're decreasing, you're gonna put your hook through the second stitch. Put your yarn around the hook, pull it through. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, and then you're gonna wrap your yarn again and then pull it through from all of the the loops. And now we made those 2 stitches into just 1 stitch over here. And that is decreasing. And for the rest, until we get to the last 2, because we want to equally decrease, to get to the last 2, we're just gonna keep working single crochet in all of the stitches over here until the last 2. And then on the last 2, we're going to decrease again. So let's work single crochet. Now we're on last 2 stitches. It's kind of hard to see the V. I am sorry about that. It looks a little complicated with this yarn. But the last 2 stitches, we're going to decrease again. Now we know how to do it. Put your hook through the first stitch. Wrap your yarn around. Pull it through, and then put your hook through the second stitch. Wrap your yarn around, pull it through. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Wrap your yarn around and pull it through all of the loops. And now you finished it. Now on your row, you should have 11 stitches because we decreased. Now we're gonna put 1 chain, that's our turning chain, and then turn the work. Now we're in row 4. Now we're going to keep doing what we did in the beginning. We're going to work single crochet in all of the stitches. And this is row 4. We're going to be doing this for row 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So until row 13, we're going to be doing the same thing. We're just going to work single crochet in all of the stitches, chain 1, turn the work, single crochet, chain 1, turn the work, same thing, until row 13. So now I'm gonna start working single crochet in all of the stitches. Now I'm at the end of row 12. And then this is the last stitch. Let's work another single crochet there. Finish it, turning chain, turn the work. Now here we're gonna start increasing. So to increase, we're gonna have to increase, the reason we're doing the increase is to increase the length again. And to do that, we're gonna work into this first stitch over here, and then we're gonna do 2 single crochet in that stitch. So that's gonna multiply that. That's gonna make that 1 stitch into 2 stitches. So let's do that. Work into the first stitch. Put your hook through, and then wrap your yarn around, pull it through, make your first single crochet, finish it. And then we're gonna do another single crochet in that first stitch. Put your hook through, wrap your yarn around, pull it through the stitch, still in the first stitch, and then finish your single crochet. Now we have 2 stitches that's worked in this first single crochet. And then until the last stitch of this row, we're gonna keep working 1 single crochet in the rest of the stitches here until the last. Now we're going to increase again in this stitch. So in the last stitch, we're going to work 2 single crochet in this 1 stitch. So let's work the first one and then work the second one in the same space. And now do the turning chain and turn your work. Now we have 13 stitches again. So we're going to increase again for this row. Again, we're doing the same thing. We're working 2 single crochet in the first stitch. The reason I'm increasing and decreasing is because of the shape of the hat. And then, as we said, the front is 8 centimeters, the middle is 7 centimeters, and the back is 9 centimeters. So I have to increase and decrease to get that shape. And that's how you can decide on what to do with yours as well. And that's how I created my pattern. You can just follow this pattern if your dog is, or if your pet is a similar size pet. You can follow this exactly, it should fit them. And then now again, until the last stitch, I'm going to keep working single crochet in all of these stitches. And now we're in the last stitch. We're going to work 2 single crochet. Let's count to make sure. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 and 15. Awesome, we have it now. Do the turning chain, turn your work. And then here is the same old thing. We're gonna work single crochet in all of the stitches. We're not increasing anymore. So it's 15 single crochet. And 15. Oh, didn't quite go through. Okay, 15. And then now we're at row 16 and we're doing the same thing. Single crochet in all of the stitches. And now chain 1, and then now this is what it looks like. So this is the front of the hat, and up here is the back of the hat. Now, instead of turning the work here, we're gonna turn the work on its side because we're done with working the length of the hat. For here, we're going to work 13 single crochet on the right hand side of the hat. See, I showed you this is the front side of the hat, back of the hat, right side, left side. So now we're going to work on this right side and we're going to work 13 single crochet. So you're going to notice that you don't have the V shapes around here. So you might be confused about where to work, but you can see these workspace, like the loops here. So you can put your hook through there. It's kind of intuitive when you're working on the side of a project, but just try to make it 13 single crochet evenly. I know it might seem a little hard, but you'll figure it out as you go, because you can see these little spaces that you can put your hook through. So we're gonna do it together. Okay, so let's work. Now I found a little loop here. I worked here, 1, found another one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and now we're on the corner here, 13. Okay, we worked the side of the hat. Now we're gonna chain 1 again. This chain 1 is gonna be, you can call it turning chain again, or like a corner chain. Now we're gonna turn the work this side. And again, you don't see the V's here really. Like you can see it sort of, like there are V's here too, but they're smaller. And now we're gonna work in these. This is smaller because this is our foundation chain. That's why it looks like that. That's why it's not as clear as the other stitches. So we're working in the front this time, and we have 13 stitches over here because we did 13 stitches in the beginning, as you remember. So we're going to work 13 stitches here, 13 single crochet here in all of the stitches. And now when you finished it, you're gonna chain 1 and turn the work on its side. This time we're working on the other side. So now for this side, we're doing the same thing again, but I'll show you something that will save you from trouble later. And this is optional, you don't have to make this, you don't have to do this. You can tuck this tail in later with a needle. But what I like to do is this. So now we're gonna work 13 stitches on this side because this is the other side of the hat. To tuck the tail in, you're gonna keep it next to your work. You're gonna hold it next to your work while you're working through the side stitches. And then you put your hook through the stitch, right? And then your tail should be on top of your hook while you're doing your single crochet. So you have your stitch and then you have your tail. And then wrap around your yarn, pull it through, and then finish your single crochet by wrapping the yarn again and then pulling it through. Now the tail is sandwiched between your stitch, your single crochet. So let's do that again. One more time. You're putting your hook through the stitch, but also your tail. Tail is above the hook. Wrapping your yarn around the hook, you're pulling it through, and then again you're finishing your single crochet. Now it's sandwiched. So we're gonna do this till the end, but if you have like really extra long tail, you can cut it because it's already secure. Like you can keep working till the end here, and then you can cut the tail from there because it's going to be secured anyway. And 13. You see my tail still extra here? I can cut it. Do it here, but just this is my tail. I'm just gonna cut it and it's gone. Oh, because it's secure already. So now we're back to where we started, right? Here is the first stitch of this side, which is the back side. And then I'm going to do a slip stitch here. So to do a slip stitch, put your hook through the stitch, wrap the yarn around, pull it through here, pull it through the stitch, and you have 2 loops, right? And then just keep pulling through, right? You're not going to wrap the yarn around for the second time. That's the difference between slip stitch and single crochet. The reason we went around and did this all around the hat is because I want to have a nice finish all around the hat, because I'm going to make ruffles around the hat. So to have these nice stitches to work with means I can work my ruffles in these stitches and it looks more neat. And now we're gonna start working the ruffles. So for this back part of the hat, how we're gonna work the ruffles is we want them to be wavy, right? To do that, we're going to keep increasing and increasing. I'm going to start with chain 1 and I'm going to work my first stitch over here. This is the first stitch here. And I'm going to work 2 single crochet for the full row here. Okay, so but after you work your first single crochet, we're gonna do something. Wait, so work your first single crochet in the first stitch. You did it, right? Now we're gonna use our stitch marker. So I got my stitch marker because I want to know where I started, because at the end we're gonna connect here again. put the stitch marker here so I know where I started. And then we're gonna do the second stitch, second single crochet in the same stitch. And in the second stitch, again, we're gonna work 2 single crochet. So for the full row here, it's gonna be all like 2 single crochet, 2 single, 2 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 2 single crochet for all the row. And it's going to be 30 stitches at the end in total. I'm gonna see you at the end of this row. Okay, so we worked 30 stitches in total, and look, it's starting to look like how we wanted it to be. So now what we're gonna do here is chain 22. The chain is going to, you know how we measured under my dog's ear, because that was the connection for the front and the back, because this is the side of the hat, right? We need a connection here so the ear can go through this hole. So we need to make that connection. To make that connection, I'm going to chain 22, and that size equals to 14 centimeters. That's why I'm chaining 22. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 chain. And then I'm gonna connect it here from the back of the hat to the front of the hat. So I'm finding that corner stitch, like the first stitch over here, and just gonna slip stitch there so I can connect them. We're doing the slip stitch. Perfect. Now chain 1, because we're gonna start this row over here, and then we're going to work 2 single crochet in each of these stitches as well, like we did on the other side. Then I'll see you at the end of the row. And now we finish this row over here as well, as you can see. Perfect. So the next step is to, again, connect this front to the back, right? And to do that, again, we're going to chain 22. Make sure your chain is straight. If your work keeps turning, just make sure it is straight like that on the right side. And then remember this point with the stitch marker, we're going to slip stitch through that marked stitch that we started with. Boom. All good. We can remove the stitch marker now. We're gonna chain 1, and now again we're increasing, we're doing the ruffles, right? Now this is like the second row for the ruffles, because in the first row we worked 2 single crochet in every stitch. Now for the second row of the ruffles, we're gonna do something different. We're going to work 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the one after that. So this is the pattern. You're working 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and for the whole row it goes like this. So let's do that. Let's show that. Okay, I'm going to work in here. the same row that I slip stitched into, and I'm gonna put my marker in there again because I'm gonna need it later. And now, like I said, we're going to work 2 single crochet here, right? We already worked 1. Let's work the second one. And in the upcoming stitch, the one right next to it, we're going to work just 1 single crochet. And then we're gonna work 2 single crochet again in the next. And then we're gonna work 1 single crochet in the next stitch. So yeah, this is the pattern for the whole row until you arrive to the stitch of the chain over here. You're gonna work 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet. That's how it's gonna go for the whole row. Now I'll be working on this and you work on yours, and I'll see you at the end of this row, right before the chain. So we finished the row and arrived in the chain. Basically, what we're going to do is keep repeating the same pattern all over the hat. So you see this is the hat, and we worked 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet in each stitch, following this pattern, starting from this marker. So that's what we're gonna do for the whole rest of the work until we reach to this marker. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna start working in this chain again, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, following the same pattern. When I come here, I'm gonna keep doing the same thing. When I come here, I'm gonna keep doing the same thing until I arrive to this marker. So once you finished here, we're gonna start working in this the chain over here. It might be hard to see where you're working in, but again, mistakes are fine. So we're gonna start working here, 2 single crochet, and then the next 1 single crochet, right? 2 single crochet in the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. That's what we've been doing, and that's what we're gonna do for the rest of this chain space. 2, 1. You see, this is how it's building, and keep working in the chain, and I'll see you on this corner. Okay, now I'm in the corner again, and then basically, like I said before, we're gonna keep doing the same thing, working 2 1 2 1 all around, including the chain. So now we made it back to the part with the stitch marker, and now we're going to again slip stitch into the stitch with the marker. Oop. Slip stitch, and after this point, just remove your stitch marker. What we're gonna do is again chain 1. So now we're going to single crochet all around in each stitch. Here, put a stitch marker. So now from here, we're gonna work all around and come back to the stitch marker. So let's keep working, and I'll see you back at the stitch marker. Okay, so when you make it back to the stitch marker, again, we're going to slip stitch into the stitch with the stitch marker, and then chain 1. Again, we're going to work single crochet all around the hat. So we're building the ruffles. We just want them a little bit longer, but it's up to you. So this is quite short at the moment, so working 1 more row might be better, and then you can keep working if you like. That is optional. So we're gonna keep doing the same thing. We did the chain 1, and then I'm gonna do my single crochet and put my marker back on, and again work all around the hat, just doing single crochet, just working single crochet in each stitch. And again, keep working all around, and I'm gonna see you back at the marker again. So I'm back at the marker, and I tried it on Leia, and I decided that I'm gonna work another row because the brim is not long enough. So it's gonna look better, I think, if it is longer. So we're gonna slip stitch into the stitch with the marker again, and then so we're gonna work half double crochet for the last row. It's gonna make it a bit taller than single crochet, at least. To do a half double crochet, you're gonna wrap your yarn around the hook, put it through your stitch, wrap your yarn around, pull it through. Now you have 3 loops, and then wrap your yarn around again, and then pull it through from all the loops. Let's do it again. Wrap your yarn around, put it through, pull the yarn, 3 loops, wrap it again, pull them all through. Perfect. So we're gonna do the half double crochet all around the hat until we get back to the marker. And again, I'll see you there. Okay, now we're back at the marker, and then we're going to do a slip stitch again, and then we're gonna tie it off. So I did my slip stitch, and then I'm going to do a chain 1, and then just pull it. See the loop here? So we're gonna cut the end, just gonna leave a tail, leave a bit of a long tail, and then pull this through. So now we're gonna mark the side of the hat. This is the side of the hat. Just like fold it in half, find the middle part of it, and then put a stitch marker in there because we're going to crochet ties over there. So we can tie it under here for Leia. Let's do that. Also, I'm gonna show you how to weave in the ends. So if you remember, we had the tails over here. We had a tail over here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use one of these needles. And what you're gonna do is, just like pretty randomly, push it through the stitches. Make sure the stitches, you're pushing through like tight stitches and not just like loose holes. And then I pushed it through a few stitches here, and I'll pull it through. And after that, I'm not going to push it back from the stitch that I worked. I'm going to push it back from the next stitch. Look, as you can see here, it's coming out of here under this stitch. So we're gonna go back from here, and then again keep working under the stitches. So that's gonna secure it. And then you don't have to keep doing this forever until like the end of the tail. Once you secure it, you can always do more, but this is gonna be enough. Just cut the end, and now it's hidden. And now, this is the inside of the hat, by the way. So I'm gonna take my hook, And you know how we mark the middle parts? I'm gonna take my yarn. So I'm gonna put my hook through here, just like nothing on it. Just put the hook through the marked stitch. And then I have this over here, not tied or anything. I'm just holding it as a loop. You see, it's not tied. And then I'm gonna pull this through. What I like to do here, I pull it through, I pull out the tail, and then I tie it, because I feel like this makes it more secure. After I tie it, I put my hook through the same stitch again. This is the tail, we're not gonna work with that. We're gonna work with the rest of our yarn. This is gonna be the ties for our hat. So we're going to work 50 chains. You see what I did? I put my hook through and then pulled the yarn, just like with the hook, pulled the yarn through the hole here, and then working my first chain. 1, again, 2, 3, and then we're gonna work 50. Now at the end here, I like to do a little bit of like a flower pattern, because this is the end of my tie. Like the one over here doesn't quite look like a flower, it looks a bit like a button, but yeah, I like to do a little bit of something at the end, so I'll show you how to finish it off. So to the first stitch over here, not this one, but the first stitch over here, we're going to work 5 single crochet. Here we go. 1, 2, in the same chain, 3, 4, and 5. After I work that, I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch, not the one I worked here, the next one. Going to the next stitch, slip stitching here, and then to tie it off, I'm going to wrap my yarn around, pull it through, just pull the yarn. Then I'm gonna cut this, and we're gonna weave in the ends. Again, like I showed you before, we're gonna use this needle. See, it doesn't look super like a button right now. We're gonna make it look like that by putting it through here, so the circle is closed. See? And then we're just gonna work through the stitches just to secure it. Nothing special, no rules really. I just work through all the stitches. Pretty random. And then when I come here, I do a few more just to make sure my stitch is secure. And then here again. And after I do that, I'm gonna cut the end of the tail. Now the hat is finished, and we're gonna try it on Leia. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!